Hi everyone. Welcome to the Elevate Mindset. Hope you are well. Take care of yourself. Subscribe and like for motivational video. Life always gets heavier right before it shifts. When you're close to something meaningful, the pressure increases, the doubts get louder, and the obstacles multiply. It's not the universe pushing you away. It's pushing you to grow into the version of yourself who can handle what's coming. Most people never realize this. They think difficulty means stop, when in reality it means don't you dare. You've been tired, worn down, stretched thin, but that's because you're close. You're closer than you've ever been. The weight you feel is a weight of transformation, not defeat. And deep down, you can sense it too. Something is changing, something is shifting, something is coming. The road didn't suddenly get worse. You just reached the part where most people quit. But you're not most people. You're built for this. You're supposed to be here. And the pressure is not breaking you, it's shaping you. The beginning of any journey feels exciting. The middle feels manageable. But the end feels brutal. Not because you're weak, but because you're finally confronting the limits you've never crossed before. You're pushing into territory your mind has no map for. And the deeper you go, the louder the resistance grows. Your legs shake, your breath shortens, your doubts rise, but none of that means you're failing. It means you're close. The final stretch always feels like war because you're stepping into a version of yourself that you've never experienced. Growth is uncomfortable. Breakthrough feels like breaking. But every step you take now counts more than all the steps before it. You're not just finishing a journey. You're becoming the person who can finish it. And once you reach that point, nothing can stop you. The moment you get close to a breakthrough, life tests you. Everything becomes louder. Responsibilities, fears, distractions, insecurities. It feels like the world is crashing down at the exact moment you're trying to rise. But this isn't coincidence. It's confirmation. Life is asking you one question. How badly do you want this? Things fall apart before they come together. Doors close before the right ones open. Emotions rise before clarity appears. These tests aren't meant to destroy you. They're meant to solidify you. They force you to decide whether you truly want what you've been working for. The closer you get, the tougher the test. But the tougher the test, the greater the reward waiting on the other side. The greatest battle you face isn't out there. It's in here, in your own mind. Your flaws, your fears, your insecurities, they rise when you rise. You're fighting the old version of you who wants to stay comfortable, safe, unseen. But you're not that person anymore. You've outgrown that shell. Growth demands sacrifice. It demands discipline. It demands a destruction of your old limits. But with every internal battle you win, you get closer to the future you want. Pain is not punishment. It's progress. If you feel torn, tired, or mentally drained, it means you're transforming. The internal war is a sign that your old self is losing, and your new self is taking over. Right before something great happens, quitting becomes the most attractive option. Comfort feels magnetic. Rest feels deserved. Excuses feel logical. And your mind tells you, maybe this is enough. Maybe you don't need to go further. But that's a trap. That's the turning point. That's a critical moment where destiny splits into two paths, the easy one that keeps you the same, and the hard one that changes everything. Most people choose ease. That's why they never experience what's waiting just beyond their breaking point. You don't need comfort right now. You need courage. The courage to keep going when quitting makes perfect sense. Because when quitting feels tempting, it's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that greatness is just one more step away. Growth never feels easy. Strength doesn't come from comfort. It comes from resistance. Every struggle you face right now is building a stronger version of you. Every hardship is adding weight to your character. Every failure is shaping your resilience. You're not weak because you're struggling. You're stronger because you're still here. The weight you're carrying is preparing you for the opportunities ahead. You're not meant to stay soft. You're meant to rise hard, focused, unshakable. When life adds more pressure, it's because you've proven you can handle it. That's why it's getting tough, because you're getting ready for the next level. You don't always see how close you are. Success doesn't announce itself. Breakthrough doesn't knock. Progress doesn't advertise. But it reveals itself through resistance. The harder it gets, the closer you are. Most people stop at the doorstep of their own greatness because it feels too heavy, too confusing, too painful. But you're one of the few who refuses to back down. You've come too far to quit now. Your future is not far. It's right behind the next moment of effort. One more step. One more push. One more day of not giving in. That's all it takes. There's a moment in every journey where the effort becomes unbearable, and that moment is a turning point. It's where everything inside you says, I can't do this anymore, but a small voice whispers, yes, you can. That voice is your future self calling you forward. The breakthrough doesn't happen when things are easy. It happens when everything inside you screams to stop. That moment of resistance, that moment of exhaustion, that's where transformation begins. You don't rise by avoiding pain. You rise by walking through it. And right now, you're standing at the doorway of your next level. When you don't quit, something inside you changes. You become a different person, sharper, braver, stronger. You realize the toughness you felt wasn't life punishing you, but life preparing you. You begin to understand why it was so hard, because the reward was so big. You're not the same person who started this journey. You're more disciplined, more resilient, more aware of your own power. And now, the challenges that once overwhelmed you no longer control you. This is rebirth. This is the moment you step into the next version of your life. This is you becoming unstoppable. When things get tough, it's not a sign to stop. It's a sign you've reached the part where success begins. The part where most people quit. The part where pressure turns into progress. The part where pain turns into purpose. You're closer than you think. You're closer than you feel. You're closer than your doubts want you to believe. The resistance is strongest right before the breakthrough because the breakthrough is real. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep pushing. You're not being tested because you're failing. You're being tested because you're almost there.